Thanks. Actually, I didn't have an idea about what I was even doing. I didn't even know anything like Wikimedia or Wikipedia. All I wanted to do was to edit the article on my particular ethnic group, that's the Atia people. I was just like exploring the Google website. I was just like searching what is even written about these people. And so I stumbled on this very article on the Atia people. And when I saw what was written, I wanted to actually improve on it. So that was how I started working on that very article. I wasn't really consistent about it, but with time, about 2020 or 2019, 2020, that was when I was able to actually, because I didn't have a smartphone. Then when I started editing, I was using a Java phone. So in 2020 or 2018, when I got a smartphone, I began to see the bigger picture, how the website actually looks on smartphone. And I decided to edit more on the Ajab people and then on the Tiap language also. With time, I was like, okay, if I can edit on the Tiap people, I can edit on Tiap language. What about where they live? So I decided to start editing on the Southern Kaduna area. Then there was no article on the Southern Kaduna area. It was just Kaduna State and then local governments of Kaduna State. So I began to improve articles on the local governments of Kaduna State, of Southern Kaduna's area, and then later on began to create articles on ethnic groups around the Southern Kaduna area, because I found out that that region of Nigeria is highly underrepresented. So we have articles about other parts of Nigeria, but that very part, they are not represented online. So why is it that the people don't have information about them? So those people, all I want to do is to increase. I didn't really understand even what Wikimedia was all about, but with time, as I edit, I look at what has already been created elsewhere in the English Wikipedia, and then I try to replicate what is written there. Sometimes my articles get deleted, and I don't know why they delete it, but I just keep on doing my thing, and with time I was able to really understand what Wikimedia was all about. In 2020, I was able to join the very first global meeting of Wikimedia Foundation, and then I was able to actually understand what the foundation was all about, and then I actually began to edit with my own awareness of what I was doing. The long and short of it is that the desire to save my language from dying is what actually has been keeping me in this very movement. Now, Wikimedia Foundation has actually provided me with the platform to make that very possible. During the 2030 strategic meeting, that was when I discovered that languages that are already dead are already having Wikipedias of their own, like Latin, and languages like even ancient Greek and all those languages in Europe. And we have little languages that do not have speakers as much as we have here in Africa, and especially in our own area. They all have Wikipedia. So I was wondering, in Nigeria, we only have Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba Wikipedias. And what happens to the other languages? Are they not supposed to actually be developed, or are they not good enough to have Wikipedia? So I applied for a Wikipedia, and then that's for Tiap language now. And then I started work on the translation project. And that was how we started getting community volunteers to join into the project. So I discovered that the work is actually quite large, and it's not something that you can just finish immediately. So it took us about 2 years before we were able to get a Wikipedia of our own. And then also the competitions I have participated in Wikimedia before I applied for the application for Tiap Wikipedia. The very first one has to do with the cinema, writing articles about African actors, actresses, about movies. So that actually exposed me a lot about editing on Wikipedia, and then I also participated in others, and then Wiki Voyage editing, which we had early this year or last year December. That's the Explore Africa. Was actually my very first time of contributing on Wiki Voyage. I never really knew anything about Wiki Voyage, but because I had some experience about editing on Wiki books and on Wikipedia, I just it's just like a normal thing, to me, even though it was quite new. I just learned about the fact that you don't actually need citations on Wiki Voyage, and I tried to follow the guide, and I was able to contribute to opening or the creation of the TIAB Wiki TIAB phrasebook on Wiki Voyage, and then contributed to other articles and that has to do with here in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, I emerged tops during the competition. I didn't really go with the mind of actually competing. I just wanted to create a phrasebook that is of good standard, and also to create articles about parks, natural reserves in Africa. And then later on, when I, as the competition was going, that was when I actually had the interest of even, making it like being a participant in the competition. But that just came later on, and at the end of the day, I came out, among the top participants. Even currently, what I do right now is about promoting the language translation on the Wikipedia and on Wiktionary, and also recruiting new people who would actually carry on, because it makes no sense if only one person or a few number of persons do the editing and then other people are not learning. So the more we bring in more people, the more the sustainability on the long run. And so thank you very much. As I said before, I didn't go into this very Explore Africa with the mind of competing, but when it reached a point, like when the time frame for the editing was increased to January, that was when I was okay. Now this is a competition, and actually there's a prize for it, right? Now, why not I try to measure up? Then I look at the outreach dashboard, and I see like who are the top editors and what are they actually creating about. So I look at that, then I measure it with where I presently am, and then I try to make a timetable for myself to actually reach their level of editing, because I know that definitely they will not be resting. They would want to actually create more and also come up tops. So I try to double my own work, and I don't really want to just create an article for creation's sake and just dump it and go to create another one. I would want a quality product, and so I look at the articles that are already existing in other parts of the world, like European articles or Asian articles, and I see the standard or what I can be able to copy from their own areas and then replicate it in my own articles. So that was just practically what I did, just to be able to make my articles look qualitative and then be able to create as much articles that as are required, because I saw that for a top winner to emerge, you have to create at least about 100 articles or be able to edit about 150 articles. And so I what is the time frame remaining between today and the closing date, and how many can I create to be able to reach that very point. And so I divide the number of articles. So I just generally set goals on achieving it, and at the end of the day I emerged among the top editors. So my parting advice would be that new editors, please, I beg you, try to learn from others, like professionals within and outside of Africa. Try to make your articles as good as possible. Make it look like it's a work done by a professional, and when people see it from outside, they would actually appreciate that very work, and always try to like follow the rules that are required for that very wiki, so that your articles don't get deleted. So that's it.